COVID-19 hasn't affected all species the same. For prospective pets, more housebound Homo sapiens means more homes for in-need animals, particularly dogs and cats. The result is good news whose benefactors will long outlive the pandemic. In Green Bay, Wisconsin, the aptly named Happily Ever After Animal Sanctuary has seen a 30% increase in adoptions since the inception of coronavirus-caused lockdowns. Dogs and cats are in such demand that even imported. The pet industry also has surged, an economic bright spot during what for many sectors has been an incredibly tough year. Companies that supply pet products are seeing soaring sales for food, leashes, collars, and a nod to new puppy housebreaking, doggy diapers. One of 2020's crowning achievements has been the drastic, rapid decrease in conventional weddings. If there was one large gathering mainstay that seriously needed a disruptive force, it was weddings. It took the worst of circumstances to spare us all from the best man and maid of honor drunkenly bombing. As you stare awkwardly from a table where you neither know anyone nor care to. Many, if not most people hate weddings, viewing nuptial invitations as embroidered harbingers of obligatory check writing and boredom. Hell, even the bride and groom hate what the wedding does to them leading up to the big day, as a sacred event that should be about love is soured into an expensive, obsessive, neurotic chore. 2020 has given us the best excuse ever to not plan large weddings and not attend them. Safety First has put long overdue mass matrimonial gatherings last a refreshing reprioritizing. A recent Wall Street Journal article discusses another COVID-related issue that trends toward eloping, what for many self-important engaged couples is some much-needed perspective. A couple featured in the piece cancelled their 150-person ceremony to instead marry with no one other than their dog in attendance, before friends and family via FaceTime. They even served as their own officiants. The next time 2020 gets you down, remember one thing: wild humpback whales are gleefully singing off the coast of Alaska. Each summer, coastal Alaska is visited by well over 1 million tourists, who whale watch and glacier gaze from countless cruise ships, which, for the record, were floating petri dishes well before COVID-19. The annual inundation nearly triples the state's population of about 750,000. Once the pandemic hit, that number effectively dropped to zero, and scores of musically gifted humpbacks have written feel-good summer hits about their newfound peace. It's the first time in human history that we've had the technological ability to listen to these whales in a meaningful way without us interfering, said Dr. Michelle Fonnette, director of the Sound Science Research Collective. Finally, a winning strategy for Mother Nature: if mankind can't be trusted to roam the earth responsibly, maybe humans should just go to their rooms. The air travel, traffic jams, and industrial waste have been confiscated and placed in Mrs. Nature's desk. If we're good, maybe we can have them back at the end of the school year. With humans tucked away, Mother Nature has shown an incredible ability to bounce back from all the shit we pull under business as usual conditions. With social, economic, industrial, and urbanization activity significantly diminished, the planet has maximized its long overdue time off with prodigious improvements to air quality, cleaner rivers, and less noise pollution. The uptick in air quality is arguably the biggest boon. From March to June 2020, the number of people seeking divorces was 34% higher compared to 2019. At first glance, this is bad news, since ending a marriage is nobody's idea of fun. As with nearly everything in 2020, a driving force is COVID-19. With couples cooped up for extended periods of time, some are realizing that the person they married isn't worth waiting for death to part ways with. Experts contend the combination of stress, unemployment, financial strain, illness, and homeschooling children have placed significant strain on relationships. However, COVID isn't really the cause of divorce but rather a catalyst. Putting two people who don't really belong together in close quarters forces them to show each other their true colors. Without offices, friends, and other buffers, mismatched marriages are revealed for what they are: pairings of two people better off alone. Unlike the mid-2000s housing bubble which took the global economy with it when it burst, this time the spike in home prices is built on the sound economic science of supply and demand rather than suckers being hoodwinked with loans they can't repay. The recent, stabler uptick in home prices is a result of COVID-19. Well-to-do residents in affluent yet at-risk cities are fleeing to the suburbs amidst a protracted pandemic where elbow room has become a lifesaver rather than a mere luxury. 2020 has seen a healthy surge in book reading. For those unfamiliar, books are like the internet but printed out, placed on paper and bound together. Pages are typically numbered for your convenience, no scrolling or clicking required. A survey of 1,000 Brits found that time spent reading books has nearly doubled, with 41% reporting reading more and only 10% less. On average, their weekly reading expanded from 3.5 hours per week to about 6. More than half of respondents reported reading more because they had more spare time, with 35% citing books as providing an escape from the crisis. Why couldn't we work from home? Mostly because managers didn't trust employees not to slack off. But with the advent of COVID-19, working from home went from a seldom permitted luxury to an all-permeating safety necessity. Seemingly overnight, the vast majority of those capable of making a living from our laptops were doing just that. Despite fears that conventional commuters would go from working hard to hardly working, this grand workforce experiment has been largely successful. In fact, businesses have seen unexpected benefits of work from home arrangements, including higher meeting participation and improved managerial attentiveness. These unprecedented times have forced us to stop placating people's feelings to spite our own well-being. On an everyday basis, the thought process goes something like this. I've spent months holed up in my home, carefully protecting my own health and that of my loved ones. I'm not letting this moron ruin 5 months of prudence with 5 seconds of irresponsibility. In less than a year, COVID-19 has killed more than 1 million people. It is absolutely mind-boggling that some people still won't wear masks or maintain social distance. It's as if these people have been living on Mars since about December 2019 or so, and re-entered Earth's atmosphere shortly before coughing in someone's face. The fastest a vaccine has been developed for a major disease is 4 years, when an inoculation against mumps became available. Though 2020 seems like it's taking forever, the world is witnessing what will rank among the greatest feats in medical history. A vaccine for a lethal, globally pervasive disease in under half that time. On October 23, the US recorded 85,000 new COVID cases, its highest single-day total yet. But epidemiology is a painstaking process that takes not only drug development but controlled patient studies, manufacturing expedience and logistical nimbleness. Considering this, it's amazing how close we are. Several pharmaceutical companies are in phase 3. The final phase comprising large-scale, placebo comparative testing of their clinical studies, and are actually manufacturing the drugs should they gain approval.